So this is these are the mostly peaceful protests that are happening in LA right now. You might think that this is a screenshot from Grand Theft Auto 6. It's actually not. It's LA today.
Hello， 大家好，我是立恩。洛杉矶啊，哎呀，真的可以说是多事之秋。之前的加州大火，野火烧不尽，没想到啊，才好不容易稍微停息了这一场野火呢。结果啊，洛杉矶又爆发了大规模的抗议行动，而且这个抗议行动可以说真的是跌破人的眼镜，居然是因为美国的移民与海关执法局 ICE 在当地展开的非法移民的扫荡行动，而导致了民众的不满发起示威。也就是说，民众啊是因为不满这个非法移民要被驱离，所以呢跟警方啊公然对干。
突然有一个人。
最初呢是集中在洛杉矶的市中心，随后就开始蔓延到南部的帕拉蒙市和康普顿市。那这个事件哈，我们稍微梳理一下。6月6号 ，ICE 呢在洛杉矶的这个制衣区呢，还有 Home Depot 哈，我不知道大家知不知道，就是美国最有名的家庭五金百货卖场哈，他们在这些停车场等地呢，就陆续逮捕了许多的非法移民。结果就开始遭到民众的抗议。6月7号呢，这个抗议规模啊还持续扩大。这个示威者呢，居然封锁了主要的高速公路，并且还与执法人员展开激烈冲突。那你说这个时候，洛杉矶市长在干嘛呢？加州州长 Newman 又在干嘛呢？基本上完全无作为哈。因为 ICE 美国移民与海关执法局就是我们耳熟能详的 Tom Homan 边境沙皇所领导的部门，所以 ICE 它算是联邦政府部门。那联邦政府部门抓非法移民呢，洛杉矶市长跟加州州长 Newman 呢，就完全无视于这些民众的暴力抗议事件，任由这些民众呢跟 ICE 部门的执法人员发生激烈冲突。所以到了6月8号的时候，美国总统川普呢就下令派遣了2000名国民警卫队呢进驻洛杉矶，试图平息骚乱。然而这个决定又引发了更大的一个反弹，居然加州州长啊要求川普总统要撤回国民兵，并且计划提出诉讼。到了6月9号的时候，这个抗议活动仍然持续升级，许多的示威者呢还随处焚烧汽车，向警方投掷物品啊、砖块啊等等哈。那警方呢就使用这个催泪瓦斯和橡胶子弹呢来驱散人群。那基本上国民兵目前的一个做法哈，都还算是驱离的方式，并没有实质性的造成民众流血事件哈。那么我今天呢，特别找了一个我们频道很少见的哈，也是知名的游戏实况主 Escalation 呢，他的一个直播影片来给大家一窥啊这个现场的真实画面。我们也可以在他的分享当中看到加州政府实际上的无作为以及放任，包含民主党的议员们呢的无脑发言哈，把这一个所谓的包庇非法移民者呢视作川普政府打击民权法案、剥夺人权的一项行动。我们就一起来看一看 Escalation 他的精彩评论吧。Let's go。
Here we go.
Has been going on right outside the federal detention center. Most of those demonstrations were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns, and again they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants at the federal center. Most of the evening, the federal.
I love how like she's saying this while she has two retards just being as annoying as possible, stream sniping her in the background. Yeah, it's totally.
But at a certain point, some of the demonstrators got very close to the property. In fact, some of them
throwing gang signs. Yeah, I guess so.
Tagging the building, started banging on fences, and shortly after that happened, the agents started firing off.
Why did he bring his? Who the fuck brings your dog to a protest? Who does this? That's so insane. Oh my god. Yeah, CNN called it peaceful. Let me see if I can find another clip for that. And so, yeah, they're calling this a peaceful protest, which you can clearly see it's not. But anyway, let's go back. I'm going to show one more of these here. Where did it go? No, it's not that one. I think there's one more besides this because, yeah, they've totally turned this place into a PvP server. It's absolutely fucking insane. Yeah, oh, here we go. Yeah, this is CNN talking about it too.
So there's unrest. Let's start with there's protest. Lawful protest, which is allowed in this country. There is some unrest, generally
There's some unrest. Yeah. I would say that would in fact be true. Accurate.
Dealt with by local law enforcement, and that there needs to be state support through state police, and sometimes even National Guard under a governor's authority. What is happening tonight is unprecedented. So there's unrest.
I don't see how people say this is unprecedented. It's not unprecedented at all. We had this happen 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And so here we go. Here's another one right here. Oh, a National Guard.
You know, let's hope that no one is hurt and no one is injured and it doesn't escalate from here. Look at the flag. Yeah, Guy, I see
there it is.
You
Mexican flag can,
Man,
you know, this is criminal.
I can't wait to see all these clips be played on the midterm elections. Yeah, I can easily see a lot of these getting played on the midterm elections every fucking day. They're doing it themselves before back to Mexico. I don't know if the guy's a citizen or not. I have no idea.
I hope people are held accountable for it. And I'm talking about the riots right here.
Yeah.
Where are the cops?
Yeah, where are they?
That's a good. See, that's a good fucking question.
Let's hope.
Like, people are getting their cars burned down. Everything's getting destroyed. I'll pull up a live thing. So apparently, okay, here we go. And obviously, Donald Trump is tweeting about this. Well, here we go.
Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out. They're coming out.
Oh. Scatter time? Yeah, exactly. As people like this do it, I mean, if they... Let me see here if I can find it. So this is the post that I guess Trump made about this right here. A once great city, Los Angeles, has been invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Now violent insurrectionist mobs are swarming and attacking our federal agents to try to stop our deportation operations, but these lawless riots only strengthen our resolve. That's right. I'm directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pom Bondi in coordination with all of the relevant departments to take such action necessary to liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion and put an end to these migrant riots. Order will be restored, the illegals will be expelled, and Los Angeles will be set free. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I could not fucking agree more. This is more normal behavior.
Their squad cars from North Hollywood
Sorry
Division.
about that. I'm just going to turn down the audio so you guys don't have to hear it. But, you know, you've got APD. These are not APD. What is this here? Fucking LAPD. You know, cars, I think, getting burned down. Like, this is crazy. Right? Absolutely fucking insane. I see the Kash Patel tweet. Let me go back. I see if I can find it. If there's any more of this here. And obviously, they're always posting this too. Rioters are waving foreign flags, threatening family members of National Guard. What is this? So there's the National Guard right there. Oh, man.
Your families are next.
Do it! I want you to put a hand on every protester like this in case they decide to rush so you can pull your comrade back.
Comrade, oh my God. I feel like there is no way that they come back from this. Like, this looks so bad. And then there's also this one too. Let me go back. I'll see if I can find a few more of this too. And is this right now? Well, it was earlier today. And let me go back. I'll see if I can pull up some more of them here.
Okay, so everybody is like running off right now. I'm not sure why. I can see just down the street. My photographer can move with me a little bit. There's a huge group of people marching down the street right now, and you can see this might be what we've seen before. Look at that, Andy. If you can just scoot over to the right, look over here to the right. You can see.
It's going absolutely
you can see there's protesters squaring off with law enforcement right now. Can you see that? So there you have, okay, we're hearing the flashbangs. We're hearing the flashbangs right now. This is what we've been seeing night after night. These clashes, these some of these violent protesters squaring off with law enforcement. You have that law enforcement and riot gear there. You could see them with their shields. They're forming a line. They're doing what they can to...
How do we convince these people that the situation is not dire enough to resort to violent riots? In their mind, the gig is up and they have to fight back? Well, it's simple. You put a few of them in jail, and if that doesn't work, you put a few more in jail, and you repeat that process until there's no more of them to put in jail, either because they stop doing it or they're all in jail. Yeah, it's really simple. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's obvious how to deal with this. Live ammo? I don't want to see the police officers shoot people. Like, if a police officer shoots somebody that throws a brick at them, I really don't give a shit. I don't care, and I think that's totally fine. But if you're talking about, like, just people protesting, I don't want to see the officers shooting people randomly.
Protect themselves from these protesters, and you have more of them, more of these protesters coming down the street right now.
What are you saying? Somebody says, what am I saying in terms of, like, throwing a brick? Throwing a brick is a deadly weapon, and a brick could kill somebody. If somebody hits you in the head with a brick, there is a good chance that you'll die, or you will sustain an injury that will change the rest of your life. And I think that police officers, the same as every other citizen, because police officers are citizens, they have the right to defend themselves. And I think that they have the right to proportionally defend themselves. And if people are trying to exact deadly force against a police officer, I think a police officer should be able to defend himself with deadly force. Anybody throwing bricks, I think your life is forfeit. That's what I think. And again, why are you throwing bricks at people in the first place? Who the fuck throws bricks at somebody? It's crazy. Like, if somebody came to your house and they threw a brick at you and you shot them, I would call that self-defense.
And you can see how quickly this could get out of hand. I'm watching people put on face masks. We're going to continue to watch this. We're going to stay on this for right now. We can see it. Can we walk a little bit? Can we walk a little bit just to show a little bit more?
I get what you're saying, but I respectfully disagree. It's all about intent. The weapon may indeed be deadly, but not all throwers intend to kill. Not all throwers intend to kill. So there are times where somebody is going to point a gun at you. So I just want to explain, like, how dumb this is, what you're saying. If somebody pulls a gun out at you and they try to shoot you in the shoulder, but they accidentally shoot you in the throat and kill you, do you think that you should have to, oh, wait a minute, maybe they're only trying to hit me in the shoulder, I shouldn't be able to respond with deadly force? It's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, you can't know what the intention of somebody is that's throwing the brick at you. Whoever said that's retarded? Yeah, and like, again, you can shoot people without the intention of killing them. But if somebody shoots you, and even if they don't have the intention of killing you, I think you should have the intention, or not you should have the intention, but you should have the ability to shoot them back with the intent to kill them. Because you can't know that. There are no bricks of peace. If a brick hits somebody, it doesn't matter what the intent is. If it hits them in the head the wrong way, it's just going to kill them anyway. If you're shooting at someone, you should never shoot to wound. Well, what I'm saying is that, do you think that you shouldn't be able to respond to somebody shooting you because maybe they're shooting you to wound you and not to kill you? Obviously not. That's the most retarded thing you could ever say. So the brick thing is the exact same situation. Bricks of peace? Yeah, I'm serious. That's where these people are coming from. You need to actually develop some empathy. Well, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm saying here, right? And let me see about this. So this is, I think, the mind of one of these people that argues like this. So if an ICE agent aims a gun at you, you don't have the right to defend yourself? Well, yeah, because they're not shooting at you. Like, I don't think that they should shoot people that are holding bricks. I think they should shoot people that are throwing bricks. And also, where's the empathy for the police officers that are getting pelted with bricks? What about them? And this is the problem, is that people like this love to advocate for empathy, but they don't actually want to advocate for empathy. They want to advocate for a one-dimensional form of empathy that paints them as the victim and the people that they're attacking as the oppressor. You don't want me to have empathy because I'm having empathy for the police officers and the people who live in the city that are having their city destroyed, burned down, destroyed, and terrorized by a bunch of crazy fucks. So this entire concept of empathy is totally misguided. You are advocating for empathy towards a person who is trying to throw a brick at another person. This is insane. That defies your logic. You're a psychology major now? You don't need to be. I don't have any psychology. You don't need to have a psychology major to understand that throwing a brick at somebody is a bad idea. You just can't take accountability for the claim I made? Well, I did. It's just stupid. Like, I do have empathy. I have a tremendous amount of empathy. And that empathy lies with the people who are out there trying to protect the country. They're trying to uphold the law. They're getting bricks thrown at them. No, I don't think that people should be punching bags. I don't think so at all. That's not empathy at all. You want to throw bricks and be able to violently oppress people, and the moment that they push back against you, now somehow this is bad. Now you're advocating for empathy. No, you had no empathy in the first place, and you weaponize and you terrorize people, and the moment that you get even a sliver of that back, you try to appeal to people's empathy. No, that's not how it works, and that's not how... I don't think anybody believes that. It's outrageous. It's only when there are consequences? Yes, of course. Retard gone? Yeah, bro is hit by a brick. He's not thinking straight? Yeah, I guess so. And I agree completely. Also, there's optics and realities. You don't want to create martyrs. I don't really care about that, honestly. I care about creating a lawful area and a lawful place. And if you want to make a martyr out of a person throwing bricks at police officers or somebody trying to violently assault police officers, then be my guest. Go ahead. But I don't think that's the way the world should work. And I don't think that you should capitulate to logic and rhetoric that paints people that are violent, aggressive, abusive, law-breaking, like people that could be theoretical murderers if they throw it and they hit somebody the wrong way. That person shouldn't be your martyr to begin with. So you can't live your life inside of the confines of the most unreasonable people possible. Because if you do that, you then are also unreasonable.
We can see, Andy, if can. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right, so here we go. Yeah, we're going to take you up to the line.
And that's the problem, is that these appeals to emotion are completely one-sided. They actually don't have any empathy. They don't have any empathy for these officers. Like, why do you think they want to dox these officers? So they can terrorize their families and put their families in danger. What about their empathy? Well, there isn't any. Well, you can say, oh, well, they deserve it. Yes, I'm sure the kid deserves to be terrorized and have the SWAT called to their house or have somebody throw a brick at their window because their dad has a job. It's outrageous. Never let people use your goodwill against you.
You can see what's happening here. All right, so you can see right now,
yeah, of course.
You have officers, they created a line to protect themselves, standing here with these protesters who are continuing to shout at them. The disrespect, the level of disrespect has just been insane over these past few days. You have so many people cursing and shouting at law enforcement. You know, these people are out here, they're just trying to protect and serve. They're just trying to keep this community safe. Following instructions, they're here supporting ICE agents as they carry out their operations, and that this is what they have to deal with. You see a lot of people, I'm looking at...
I disagree hard. I think the dude's criticism has something with you not showing empathy towards the families being torn apart. Well, of course I have empathy to them, and that's bad, but the reality is that a family is torn apart whenever a person commits a crime. So if you rob a bank, you don't get to not go to jail because you have a family. If you're driving drunk and you kill somebody, you don't get to not go to jail because you have a family. This is, again, an illogical emotional appeal that doesn't apply in any other situation. Having a family does not make you immune from consequences of breaking the law. This is something that's acknowledged, and everybody knows this with every single other crime, but we're supposed to pretend like this is different? Again, like, it's just, there's no logic to this at all.
A lot of people with their face. Okay, they're spraying some more. We're going to scoot back just a little bit more. Staying with your photographer, trying to stay at a safe distance. I got you, Andy. I got you.
Stay with me.
I got you. All right, so you can see they're pulling out the shields. The California National Guard, you can see there, we're hearing more flashbang grenades. Again, you have... All right, so you can see you have the police here, you have the National Guards here.
This is bad.
Tactical vehicles, military vehicles. Again, this is the very same place where all that violence broke out on Friday. When you had the acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, calling it appalling. This is where that happened.
左派的主流媒体包含许多台湾的媒体都一样其实都没有把川普为什么要派2000名的加州国民兵，关键原因，那是因为加州政府完全没有主动派遣任何的警力去协助 ICE， 因为6月6号的时候，ICE 本来逮捕了118名非法移民，里面还有5名是帮派分子。好，那结果数百名的示威者呢，因为跟 ICE 这边对峙呢，最后居然包围了 ICE 的执法大楼，而且跟联邦探员发生激烈的冲突，投掷物品、划破轮胎，攻击 ICE 的官员。那你这个抗议活动已经升级严重到这样的，加州政府完全就是摆烂，完全不管。你这种情况，当然只能够最后经由总统直接下令，以这个2000名国民兵，讲排一点，根本是去救援的啦。好，那大家一定会觉得很稀奇就是说，为什么加州的州政府可以允许这个，坦白说，这种抗议冲突的也不是一般老百姓就跟 Esmond 讲的一样，你会对于执法人员在那边丢掷砖块丢掷物品这种都不是一般正常老百姓会做的事情因为一般来讲的话，顶多就是拿着大声公来示威抗议不会用这种激烈的暴力手段。那究其原因，其实是因为加州是全美国50州里面呢是拥有最多非法劳工的州。这个州的经济结构它的地理位置跟它的移民政策都密切相关。加州的非法移民人口呢就占了全美非法移民总数的20%，这么高一个州就包办了1/5的非法移民。所以你就知道，在加州其实这些企业他们长期以来都是利用非常廉价的非法劳工的方式呢，来剥削获取大量利润。这也是为什么其实对于 Newsom 来讲 ，ICE 要动到抓捕加州的非法移民，那是不是会吓跑非常多还没有被抓到的其他非法移民，对吧？所以根本而言，会动摇了加州他们目前许多财团经济的一个根基。逮捕非法移民的政策呢，最有可能会大幅的影响到加州的劳动市场的生产力。所以换句话说，这根本是一场州政府与联邦政府之间的一个角力战。来听听当地加州的民主党议员呢是怎么来描述川普的这一次行动，试图把这一切的责任都丢给川普政府。我们一起来听。
The fact is that these people are coming over to the country. They are breaking the law. They know that they're breaking the law. They're doing it on purpose. And they had kids and they started a family, or they had a family and they brought them over, and they knew that this is what happens. So at a certain point, again, there is no other crime that we do that is like, oh, well, this person has a family, so they don't have to go to jail. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it's a ridiculous line of thinking, and it doesn't apply to anything else. Please bring it up. I'll debate you on this. I'm not interested in a debate or anything like this. So police officers in gear that makes a brick not deadly. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, right? Police officers are in gear that makes a brick not a deadly weapon anymore. Okay. They're also probably wearing bulletproof vests. Does that mean that you can shoot them with a gun? How could you possibly say something so ridiculous? The concussive impact is what really matters. Like, how could I don't even understand how a person would even think like this. What a ridiculous thing to say. I can't even fathom the type of thinking that these people have. I can't even imagine it. What a retard! Yes, it's insane.
stop here where the guns are. I want you all to take pictures of these guns and let people know that they're in our city with guns, and I'm sure they have orders to shoot and kill. I don't know, but they
otherwise have auto shoot and kill. Okay, Grandma, let's get you to bed. For sure.
They wouldn't have guns.
One question, Representative Ms. Waters. If there's one statement that a message that you can send to Donald Trump, what is that message here today?
My message to Donald Trump is you are a cruel human being, and that you are using the poorest people in the land, the most vulnerable people in the land, to promote your policy.
The people who are using these poorest and most vulnerable people are the business owners that employ them. And they exploit their labor for a lower wage intentionally to take advantage of them at the expense of American workers. It's not Donald Trump who's at fault. It's the business owners who create the incentive for these people to come over.
You are wrong.
I actually, this might sound weird. The same as I said, like, I don't really blame the rock throwers, right? It's like, just arrest them and that's it. Like, I'm not like emotionally angry at them. They're just retards, right? It's not really worth taking seriously or getting angry about. I also don't blame any of the illegal aliens. Like, if I lived in like one of these like shitty South American countries, I would want to come to America too. And I would do everything that I could to come to America. And I never try to blame a person acting in self-interest. I understand that. But the problem is the reason why they come to America is because America provides benefits for them that they shouldn't provide, like these jobs. That's the issue. You can blame them too? Sure. I mean, yeah, obviously they shouldn't do it. Yes, definitely. But I think that there's like there's a totally different set of expectations that I have here. Like, a lot of these illegals, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I wish we could replace half of these shrieking Karens with these illegal aliens. Send the shrieking Karens back to Venezuela or Mexico. Let's keep these hardworking illegals here, and let's just do a fucking swap. I feel like literally everybody would be better off. Well, not Venezuela or Mexico, but we certainly would be. Yeah, 2-for-1 trade. Yeah, that's actually the way that I feel. Like, I don't hate these illegals. Like, we have to get rid of them and they shouldn't be here. But I understand their problems. Of course I understand them. It's easy to understand it. Of course.
We know what this is all about. We have people who are immigrants here who are trying to seek a better living, who have come from places where they have experienced this kind of thing that he's doing here today. Yeah. People who work every day, people who are paying taxes, who are raising their families, who are supporting education. They should not be treated this way. They should be given an opportunity to tell their story, whom they are, and why
they can tell their story from the country that they came from. Like, I mean, we have a World Wide Web. I mean, they can just record it in Mexico or wherever they came from. Like, yeah, they can tell the story. There's nothing wrong with telling the story. You just can't do it here.
Here and ask the United
States. A disgustingly dishonest person? Well, of course, right? I mean, and again, like this type of thinking can only survive inside of an echo chamber of lies where it's completely censored. And this is the reason why the Overton window has shifted so much, is because social media and media in general is less homogenous and less censored now. You're seeing the massive shift because a lot of these opinions are like endangered species. They can't actually exist in an environment and in the ecosystem by themselves. They have to be protected on reservations or some form of wildlife conservation. And so they have to be taken care of and made sure, because like if you introduce them into the free marketplace of ideas, they immediately fall apart. Do you think she'd give the opportunity for people that just lived, entered her house illegally? No, of course not. How would an illegal immigrant pay taxes if they aren't a citizen? They do pay taxes in some ways, but not other ways. It's very complicated. And like, so for example, one of the big issues is that, so like for Social Security, for example, they might pay their sales tax, right? Obviously that's the easiest one. But like for Social Security, in a lot of these cases, I think the employers are not paying their Social Security. So Social Security for a lot of jobs, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be a little bit off on this, but the way Social Security tax works is that the employer pays half and the employee pays half. Well, if you're hiring a person who's an illegal, well, you're not paying that half. They can't collect. Yeah, exactly, right? Wrong unless they're working under a table? Yeah. Which a lot of them are. It's called an I-10 number. Yeah, I know. My dad worked with them whenever he worked at the IRS, actually. Yeah, I know. Individual tax identification number. Yeah, I know. But that's not supposed to be for illegals. That's supposed to be for migrant workers and people that are here on work visas, which is another very big difference.
Do what the Constitution allows us to do, and that is give them consideration for having citizenship here.
Ms. Maxine Waters, thank you for those words. Another thing, do you find it coincidental that this is happening at this time of the year right now? Is there anything that you can correlate with the timeline that it's happening with right now alongside?
No, I think that the president has not been able to live up to the threat that he used during his campaign, where he was going to get millions of them out of here. And I think it's come to the point where he thinks he's got to show something. But also, his ridiculousness has taken over the armed services to celebrate his birthdays coming up. And people are saying, are you going to spend millions of dollars celebrating your birthday using the armed services to do it? And I think that adds to it. All of this is coming to the forefront now.
And Congresswoman, how should the city of LA...
Does she think that his birthday is the 4th of July? I think that's what she thinks, right? Like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
In the state of California react to this? What's the smart play here?
All of the elected officials in this city should be on the street. The mayor should be on the street. The city council should be on the street. Everybody should be on the street. All of the state elected officials. All of us in Congress. We're supposed to be in Congress tomorrow, but I want you to know I'm trying to stop him from getting richer and richer on crypto. The more money he has, the more powerful he has, the more he will elect people. So we got a lot of work to do.
What does that do with crypto?
Bodies on the street, basically.
Bodies on the street. People on the street. Absolutely.
Ms. Waters, before we let you go, anything that you can say to anybody watching or the public that wants to come out here or just simply watching or wants to know, anything that you want to tell them that they should do or shouldn't do?
Well, here's what I want to...
Somebody says your type of thinking is very selfish and egotistical, especially saying we have to deport these people, especially whenever you include hardworking and respectful immigrants. How can you at least show some selflessness whenever for good immigrants? I do. I absolutely do. See, you've done the thing that I've been criticizing people for doing. You have put all immigrants in the same bucket, when in fact they're not in the same bucket. The reality is that a lot of the immigrants that I'm talking about, how could you say that they're respectful whenever their existence in this country to begin with is an act of disrespect? They don't even respect our laws. That's why they're here in the first place. So this is a ridiculous thing to even say. And do you think I want to have like legal immigrants get deported? No, that's ridiculous. He didn't say illegal. Exactly. Yeah, I don't have a problem with legal immigrants. I mean, I'm sure some people do, right? But I don't. That's not really a big deal to me. So, and this is, again, it's the intentional misunderstanding and the intentional misrepresentation that really, I think this is really going to cause a tremendous amount of xenophobia, and the backlash from this will be bad, and it will negatively affect average immigrants that are part of the group that he's talking about. And the reason why is because he's using emotionally charged language to push a narrative that's wrong. And it's more important for him to push this wrong narrative so he can feel good than to look at what the best thing for those immigrants actually is.
Support. I want to support people having a voice. Peaceful protests are okay. They're all right. I want them to know what happened in the civil rights movement, where we got on the street, where we marched, where we fought, and we made the government...
I remember when Martin Luther King said in his speech to burn down cars and throw bricks at police officers. That was my favorite part of his speech. He says, I have a dream where we throw bricks at police officers and we burn down a 7-Eleven. Remember that? Bro, that went hard.
Change, and we got voting rights.
Peacefully.
And peacefully. And so people can protest peacefully. They should come out and they should have a voice, and they should not allow the intimidation to force them to do nothing. Do something.
Do something.
Something.
Do not let the intimidation force you to do nothing. Do something. Words from Congresswoman here, Maxine Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Only rights and peace.
I can't believe these.
It's ridiculous to compare the civil rights movement to this. It's not even close to the same thing. Of course it's not. It's not even in the same universe.
为什么我会来介绍 Esmongo 哈 ？Esmongo 他虽然过去是在 Twitch 上面的知名的游戏实况主，但是呢，他也喜欢偶尔评论政治。那事实上，他是一个非常右派保守主义的一个游戏实况主。过去一些他政治上面有争议性的评论，像以巴冲突，他在2024年10月的时候就表示说，巴勒斯坦的人都是来自于低等文化。而且所有的价值观都与西方对立，所以他不会同情巴勒斯坦。那另外呢，他也曾批评 Twitch 的主播riots 获得的这个年度电子竞技主播奖，因为他认为该奖项根本就是基于多元文化的考量颁发的，而非真正的实力竞争。所以呢，过去 Esmongo 主要在于政治或文化方面的一个评论呢，都是偏向保守派这一边。哎呀！好，那今天呢，也算是我们把这一次加州大事件呢，透过 Esmongo 比较轻松的这种直播方式给介绍完毕。未来如果有机会，我可能还会再做 Esmongo 比较有趣的一些相关话题给大家来看。OK， 我们这边是超级神队友，我们就下部影片再见啦，拜拜。
Christ alone, our hope now for